People think you need years of training to enjoy and understand classical music, that you have to study it, analyze it, know the music history. You don't. In fact, if you're watching this, you probably already get it. Somewhere along the line, classical music got this reputation that it's elite, that you need to be able to hum every theme from every Beethoven symphony, or you need to know what type of champagne Tchaikovsky preferred with his caviar before you can even begin to enjoy it. And if you don't know this stuff, you're just not getting it. Well, that idea is completely wrong. Because the thing you need to know is that music isn't some sort of test that you have to pass. Music is an art. It's made for you. It's made for you to enjoy. If something sounds beautiful to you, or exciting, or overwhelming, or even interesting, then you get it. Or in the words of Duke Ellington, if it sounds good, it is good. Not only do I teach musical instruments, but I also teach college-level music theory and music appreciation. And I'm here to tell you that those things will help you understand music more, but you don't need them. For example, music theory is like the engineering of music. It shows you how to take the piece apart, understand what makes it tick. But you can still love the music without knowing how that works, just like you can use an app on your phone without having to know how to create an app of your own to program it by yourself. So here's the part that a lot of people don't understand. Classical music isn't some distant, unfamiliar world. You've been surrounded by it your whole life. You hear classical music with cartoons, you hear it in video games, in commercials, but you especially hear it a lot in your favorite films. In fact, I would give you this challenge. Can you even go one whole day without hearing classical music? I bet you can't. Let's talk about film music. A lot of people even say that classical music in films is the thing that's keeping classical music alive. Let's take a controversial composer like John Williams. Think about Star Wars or Harry Potter. Those sweeping lines, those huge orchestral climaxes, they absolutely make the movie. Not just the effects, not just the acting. The music is at least an important part of that. I'll get to why Williams is a little bit controversial later. But for now, the main point is that's not classical style music. That is classical music. And you've heard it since you were little. Or we can look at someone like Hans Zimmer. He has a different approach to it, but he's still a so-called serious composer. Another bad term for classical music. But he brings that knowledge and that sound to the films that he writes for. You've heard his music everywhere, even if you're not aware of it. But the reason I say people like John Williams and other composers have some controversy surrounding them is because people love to say they sound like other composers. And in some cases, they've almost lifted complete melodies or harmonies from other compositions. But this is in the great tradition of classical composers. When you hear someone like John Williams, you might hear a little bit of Stravinsky, you might hear a little bit of Mahler, so that when you really go to those composers' works, you won't find them unfamiliar. But the thing that elitists love to say, and that turn people off from even trying classical music, is that you somehow have to invest hundreds of hours of time into it before you'll even understand it. That's absolutely nonsense. You already get classical music. It's true, if you invest more time, listen to more music, learn a little bit more about it, you'll get more out of it. That's true of anything, though. That's true of food, that's true of travel, anything you can think of. But the elitists want to make you think that you're not even qualified to listen to it if you don't first do all this work. But here's the good news. That so-called investment, that happens naturally when you get into classical music. It happens naturally when you get into anything. You start to read more about it. You want to listen to more music that sounds like the music you already enjoy. It's not something that should be considered a barrier to you getting into classical music. You can listen to a piece once and it hits you right away. Other pieces you might listen to and just not get it. And that's okay. That's not a failing. It's not something that you need to work on yourself to understand. You like what you like, and that's the story. You may come back later and enjoy that piece, but it's not a requirement that you like every type of piece of classical music, from the medieval times through Renaissance, Baroque, classical, romantic. You can enjoy whatever you want to enjoy, but the more you listen to it, the more you'll get into it. Not the other way around. You have to do a lot of work. You have to have a certain education to enjoy it. Nonsense. You can like a piece of music on your first hearing. So if you want to get into classical music, don't start with the things that you're supposed to like or that people tell you should like. Start with the things you already like. For example, if you like John Williams, maybe you'll also like Gustav Holst. Some of his music sounds like Holst. Maybe you'll like Stravinsky. And suddenly you'll find you're not entering a new world. You're just more deeply exploring a world you already know. Classical music isn't reserved for the elite, for someone with a degree from an Ivy League school. It's for you. And all you have to do is listen. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, you can become a member of the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.